So I actually recorded a whole podcast on how I've been dealing with so much anxiety the last, 4 or 5 weeks. And then I was telling you a story about how God worked in two miraculous ways. Well, I just got a third way, maybe fourth, maybe fifth, maybe five. So let's see. So I've been, where do I start? So about 5-6 weeks ago, my father-in-law, well, he passed away February 1st, so it's been almost 3 months now. And that really has been very challenging, and it's kind of hit me the last few weeks. But I think even more than that, there's been like a spiritual battle going on inside of me that I didn't really know what was going on. And I finally got some clarity on it just today. So someone called me, just a friend, that had actually told me or talked to me about this spiritual battle that she had experienced. And she was telling me, you know what, I think this is going to happen again because of this and that and all these things she was saying to me. I said, okay, well, we'll wait and see. I said, I don't really know much of what you're talking about. And so I've been wrestling with a lot of anxious thoughts and just really uncomfortable the last, like I said, 4 or 5 weeks. And I thought it was mostly my father-in-law, and I think it is, or I thought it was just my knee. I hurt my knee, and I think part of that. And then David, our beautiful son, he's moving to college. And so, yes, all these things have affected me. But today, my friend, the same friend, called me just randomly, right? But you know how God is. And she was telling me basically that, that these attacks are still going. They're still happening. And she was asking me how I was doing. And I said, well, not too good. And she said, well, remember what I told you? And I said, yep. She said, that's the problem. And Rochelle and I have known that there's this thing that we're noticing that we have to, distance ourselves from with another situation at church. And so this was confirmation that this is the right thing and we're on the right path. And so then that's a huge sign from God that I wasn't even expecting. And then the second thing that also was similar in terms of how God is with us is a couple days ago, or last week, this is more practical, but this is just how God works. These are things that really mean a lot to me. I was working on my wife's computer, on Rochelle's computer. She was backing up her computer. She was getting a new one. And so I was excited. I brought out my hard drive and I felt so proud and so glad to be able to help my wife. And so, but then the dumb hard drive broke. It just stopped working. I unplugged it without ejecting it. And so I was blaming myself and blah, blah, blah. And then last night I couldn't get it to work, and back to the satanic, just once again feeling so oppressed and so anxious and just beating myself up, blah, blah, blah. I got Rochelle another hard drive that I had, so everything's fine on her end. But then the hard drive wasn't working. I plugged it into my computer, and I kind of just said, Lord, if you are real, I don't know if you're real. I just said, Lord, would you fix it? And I just kind of prayed last night. And then this morning, actually right now, when I'm doing this podcast, I turn my computer on and the hard drive is working. You don't know how happy that makes me feel. I feel like God, excuse me. I feel like God is there just saying, son, I'm right here. And now that meant a lot because a few months ago, way before that, maybe, January or so, my beautiful wife's car wasn't working. And I was unemployed at the time, and I was stressing over money. Now we have all this money. Thank you, Lord. And the engine light came on. I thought, man, I know what this is. It's going to be $2,000. And it's this thing that happened a few months ago. Maybe that didn't work, blah, blah, blah. So I was stressing. I thought, man, I can't believe I'm going to have to spend $2,000, and back to the whole blaming and guilt and shame that I'm not enough, right? So that's the theme here. I'm not enough. A bunch of lies, right? Saturday comes and I am going to the shop. I said, I have to do this. I have to take care of it. So I turn on the car and the engine light is off. That never happens. And I thought, wow, Lord, are you really going to do this? I mean, I know that you're able. Drove to the shop. The guy said, oh yeah, just put this bottle of this liquid, $20. The car works, and it worked. The engine light stayed off. It cost me $20. I thought it would cost me $2,000. Instead, it cost me $20. Miracle number 3. Miracle number 4. There is this church here in the area that has been calling me about this thing and the other. And so the guy called me today. We talked, and he said, yeah, you should apply. So who knows, right? We never know. Maybe that's something. And then the 4th or 5th miracle, I can't keep up now, is another place, a school in the area that's like 5 minutes away from home. Right now, I've been working about 30 minutes away. It's not bad, but it's 30 minutes, and it's kind of in the hoodish. But this school that's just a few minutes away from here called me, or they responded to my email, and they said, hey, we got your application. And so I told them that I wanted to work there as a teacher at this school here just a few minutes away. And so that was amazing. And he said, yeah, thank you for applying. We'll keep you in mind. He didn't offer me a job, but here's the thing. I know the vice principal, who's the one who's going to choose who's going to work there as a teacher. And he even asked me if I could come work this week for him because he's needing some help, and I couldn't. But anyway, again, nothing is solid. I don't have, these things aren't locked down, but just the potential, just how God can just work like that in a second and provide. He can turn off the engine light. He can make the silly hard drive work once again. Just these things that mean so much to me, where I don't have to fear that I have to be more than I am, or I'm not enough, or I don't know if I should make this decision or not with these problems that I'm dealing with at church and blah, blah, blah. And this person just randomly calls me to confirm what we knew that we had to do. I just thank God. It's amazing. I'm still jittery over all these things. They're not easy for me. But I'm learning to trust God. It really is a crazy thing that I struggle sometimes to learn I struggle to trust God. I'm still learning to trust God. I guess we all are. But I thank God that he continues to show me how great and how awesome he is, and that he's here and I don't have to worry about anything. And I am grieving my father-in-law, how I wish he could help me with cars, and our son needs a new car, and just things, just wisdom, just to say, hey, Dad, what do you think of this church? What do you think of that decision? But he's not here. He's not going to be able to see Isabella graduate next week. But guess what? My mom is here. So, yes, there's pain in the night, but gozo comes in the morning. So I guess if you're feeling like you're going through some stuff right now, be of good cheer. The Lord has come to save you. The Lord is coming to save you. He has come to save us. And there's no reason for sadness. He has put a song in my soul. And so that's the truth. And we have to live with that. My son is going to be just fine. We're going to get a car from him. I'll give him mine, perhaps. I don't know. We'll buy him a new one. Who knows? God has a plan, and we don't have to worry about all these things. We just have to keep walking in truth and love. And whether it's physical problems or mental problems or financial issues that you're dealing with, or spiritual problems or church or work, whatever it is, relational, be calm. God has a plan. Just be patient. He's got it. Thank you so much for being here. If you would like my coaching one-on-one, I'm here to help you walk through and work through all the same things that I'm dealing with, to be there for you as a spiritual guide and mentor. You can just go to davidtrig.com/coaching, davidtrig.com/coaching, or you can just email me, text me, Instagram me at davidtrig. You can email me at trig@davidtrig. You can go to my website, davidtrig.com, and you can learn more about me there. Thank you again for being here, and I will see you next time. Adios.